Welcome back. We are starting episode 7 of Craftoria, and I am Cuberized. So, between episodes, I went ahead and did a little cleanup of the inventory, emptied out the backpacks, rested. So, I've got this set up upstairs. This is from downstairs, just moved it up. So, this is all the food, plants, seeds are all in these barrels. Um, the puppy is looking out the window. Down here, I modified this a little bit, so give myself some more room. All of these, I have a crafting table here, a cutting board, which we found, and just more barrels. So we're all set up to look at least somewhat more organized. From here, we need to. So this is all of the relics, artifacts, armor, weapons, tools that I picked up along the way, and these are just the couple things that I already had. So one of the things we want to do is we definitely want to take a look at some of these artifacts that we have not looked at yet and see if any of them will be useful. And with that also, I have an umbrella. We want to take a look at our quests because this is where they come into play. So we should have, here's the umbrella, get some experience from that. The roller skates, last episode if you were watching, I was sliding all over the place. Leather belt. This one we have not claimed either. It's the pocket piston that provides knockback. And there's the feral claws. I think that is now, no, I'm missing something. The tennis shoes, which gives us the speed boost. And the villager hat, which helps with trading with villagers. Alright, that's finally all of the relics. So we have quite a few already. Anything with the green arrow is something we already have. Let's, while we're here, collect all the rest of these. Mekanism. This is, we found osmium. So our random reward is rock hopper. Could be worse. Occultism is because we broke grass and found the seeds here, the demon seeds. And we get bone meal, alright. And third G, yes, the crystals we mined. And we get alchemical something. We'll see what that is. Nickel. Alright. So, we... Okay, so the other thing we did last episode is we went ahead and went mining. So we'll take a look at all that and get that started as well, and then figure out which mods we want to delve into more. Let's take a quick peek. That's actually a fair amount of experience. Hat here. I'll get to do two of these. Okay, so is that a hand? That's a hand. This is a hand and that looks like a rose. So I'm going to go with, let's try the outline. Outline's always a good place to start and hope for the best. And no. This way? No. Alright, let's see. Okay, I can connect these up. And this is a hand, it looks like. Maybe it's this way? No, is it this? No. guys. Alright, so it's a hand holding a rose. Great, and that iron golems, oh, great. They won't attack. I don't generally provoke them because they punch really hard, but it's good to know that they won't attack. And this is this another hand? Kind of looks like a hand. Alright, we're going to go for outline mode again because that looks like a piece of paper. Let's try something like this again. There we go. Increases the discount by 16%. Excellent. Not a lot right now, but when we dealing with like when you're trading wheat for an emerald, you know, if the guy is asking, you know, for whatever 18 wheat, 16% isn't a lot, but if this number gets to half, then if we're talking 50% and not just, you know, 16 or 60%, then you're talking about going from, you know, 18 down to 9 or something close to that, which makes a big difference. You get twice as many emeralds at that rate. So something to look forward to. And I do not currently have anything on my head, so I might as well. The belt, I already have a belt, and I looked at this one, and this one is, you get 2 slots here, and this one is, you get 1 slot. So if I add this, there are 2 belt slots. If I add this next to it, I just got 2 more charm slots. Since I don't have another belt, why not? And you do get the perks. And this is an, looks like an umbrella. So let's see what this does. I'm gonna hope that this is just an umbrella and no fancy connection. Nah, there's something here I'm missing. Oh, maybe it's... Ah, red and white breaks. Okay. Held in hand, vertical speed, slow down. Okay, it's kind of Feather Folly-y, but not exactly. Alright, something to keep in mind, this is locked. You have to be level 5, which we are level 0. And let's, what does this go into? Does this go into... Doesn't say. Well, let's see if it goes there. No, I think you have to have it in your hand. Is that what it said? Held in hand. Okay, so I have to have this here. Yeah, that's going to be a little distracting. Alright, something to think about. Alrighty, so I believe so this is all of the raw ores that we have. So fair number of copper, some iron, some osmium, and some gold. So this is this will be good because these are the ones we need to, well, this is needed for Mekanism. And gold and copper and iron are needed to upgrade a lot of our equipment. And then chemicals, so that's 3G. Oops, stepped on my little trap there. Not sure where I stuck the 3G stuff. It's in here somewhere, so give me a minute while I zip through. You can kind of see what else is in here. That's the Hazen, that's the armor templates. That is, these are our alternate items that we have that we're not currently using. Manuals that we picked up, some books, some paper. Extra knives for the cutting board. And bees. I don't know where I put the experience that I already picked up. The bed that we're using right now has a fox print on it. It's orange. It's upstairs. We have alternate ones. Just some basic blocks. And these are all the ores, dust, blocks that we've mined that isn't have anything to do with, I said ores, gems, dust, and crystals, and some other blocks. So this is blocks of coal, which is good. This is obsidian. And so we need to make a... Okay, if you heard Princess in the background, she's just saying hello. All right, so again, we've got our raw ores. Say that 3 times fast. And I'm sure you guys have said, oh, hey, look, you passed by wherever you, there it is, stash the experience with, which this is really nice because when we start doing enchantments onto items, that'll be really handy. And it would be really nice if I had mending. I do not know that I do, though. Tearing has to do with spears. Luck of the Seas, multi-shots, bows. Comb cutter has to do with well, the bee zone. When you go to actually harvest honeycomb, you can have this on shears. All right, I am not seeing mending, which would be very nice to get. All right, so to be able to get going with some of this stuff, let's take a look. Wrong thing. Let's take a look in our quest book here and see which way we want to go. So personal storage, we already have a backpack. We have not upgraded it too far. We are still hoping to get a bank. I think that will be very helpful. I do not know that we have all the blocks of coal that we're going to need for it. I do know we have 4. I do know we have some loose coal, but it's a lot of coal. And I don't think I found much of anything down below. Why does it look like I'm wearing the villager hat? Okay. Alrighty. Let's toggle this stuff off just because tennis shoes are okay. We don't need to see the rest of it. Back to the quest. So I think we have a finite amount of obsidian. We have 14 blocks. So it takes 10 blocks to make another portal. The other thing we can do with it is make a mining dimension portal, which takes 8. And 8 plus 10 is 18. That is not 14. So there's a discrepancy there. If we find lava somewhere, and we might be able to find it on the surface, then all we would need is a bucket. We can make it into obsidian, and that would be that. But it's just something to think about is we have less obsidian than we need in terms of... so that's also, we want to, because if we can get to the mining dimension, it's something that I can do between, I mean, I can show you what it looks like and get started, but then I can mine safely is the key word, between episodes if needed, to gather resources. And then we can do all the fun exploring and crafting and things on camera. So there is applied energistics, which is somewhere we want to go to be able to get started, I think. And I have a diamond pickaxe, so that should be able to get me into a meteor, which I thought I saw on the map. So I will double check that in a moment. We can go get that and start working on this. Gadgets are, yes, the mining gadget. So mining gadget has accessories. Accessories is not upgrades that you can add to it that make it very, very powerful, but we have to have a way to charge it. And so that is something we need to work on. The other thing is we've got sticks. We've got a bunch of options. Escape rope, that's fun. So we have some other things here. Okay, so lots of fun things. A replication I have never used before. So this will be fun to get into and figure out how it works. And then we have transportation. So there's options there as well. We have lots of bosses to do. This is the standard Twilight Forest host of creatures, so this is probably known for most folks if you've ever played with Twilight Forest. Bosses of mass destruction are big and scary, and depending on which map you're in, it's which ones you get. And then Cataclysm has its own grouping of bosses. There is immersive aircraft, so you can make your own balloons or flying craft, so that will be fun to work on. Monster Mayhem is doing the creating the spawners and then creating all of the different upgrades that you can do for the spawner. So that'll be fun. This is Echo Shard from the Deep Dark. And then of course we have the relics and the artifacts. So technology, I mean magic, we've already touched on it gently, but it's ours, which is a nice big thing to work through. Iron spells, occultism, and theurgy. And then we have under technology we have create, which need to, yeah, so if you're familiar with it, if not, it'll be fun to go through it together. But all kind of fun things to do with create. Just Dire Things. This is from Dire Wolf, and it's a different mechanism in order to create ores and then use those ores to create items. So we might get Primogel Goo started. We'll see what that takes. And oh, that should be easy enough. I think we actually have all of that. Might not have sugar, but I know I have sugar cane. So we'll get a block of that going. And I'm going to try to do a number of different things. Get everything started at the same time here. Mechanism, ways to double ores, ways to get cardboard box, which you can use to pick up blocks, including spawners. So that's very handy. There's all the different types of pipes and conductors and different ways to move energy and liquids and gases and everything. So this is something we are going to get into as well, starting with the basics. And ore processing is just, it literally will step you through all the different levels and complexities of dealing with ore processing and how one has to do that, where you get just a little extra to getting a lot extra. So yeah, so we'll step our way through there. Modern industrialization, probably not going to get into until later, but it's here as well. And then pneumatic craft, which has been around for a while, and power, which is also a mod that's been around. Alright, that's all the fun that's in here. Plus, I mean, there's mod packs that are in here that aren't part of this. The reason why I went through these is that the getting started gives you a lot of information. I think this is the only one you get a reward for, so I will go through and click on these. The exciting thing about it is they have something called the completionist, and that has to do with these mods where if you actually complete the chapter, this thing will turn green, I believe, from the color it currently is, and you get a trophy. And once you get all these trophies, you get the completionist trophy. So for people who like to do quests, like to check boxes, like to get all those announcements that you've made achievements, I do. I know that I get excited about it. This is one way to do that. So you've got, this is ours and 3rd G down below. You've got relics, the boss slayer, so doing, you know, the Ender Dragon, iron spells and spell books, which is down here. Then occultism, which is also down there. You've got power, mechanism, modern industrialization, just dire things, replication, applied energistics, and pneumatic craft. So all of these actually are all of these. Fun to do. And then eternal is some other very advanced type items that we will get to. So lots of things to work on. All right, so after all of that, let's go ahead and question is, do we do mechanism or just jump in and get some stuff upgraded? We're going to need to do mechanism anyway, so let's go ahead and do some mechanism. The basics. So if you're not familiar, you need a metallurgic infuser to infuse metals. I know that kind of sounds redundant. It is. And feel free to read through this, but it's, you feed it energy and it will, and you feed it some type of material like coal or redstone, and it will infuse that into some other material that you provide, and you get it. So I will need to make at least one of these. Ideally, later on, it would be nice to have many of these. But the other thing is I'm also going to need a way to create energy, and a heat generator is also here, so let's do that. Furnaces, osmium. Okay, so I'm going to need to take some of this osmium, not much, because I do not at the moment. Do we have tiny charcoal as well as tiny coal? We do. Tiny charcoal. Alright. This is nice because it'll smelt one at a time and we don't waste anything. Get that going. And I do have a little bit of iron, not much. Let's... a little bit more. Okay. And, alright, so... let's see, iron, osmium... I just forgot the recipe. And there's various levels, so we're going to get up to a up to this ultimate infusing factory at some point. I need redstone and furnaces. I don't know that I actually have any extra furnaces around, but if I did, they would be here, I think. And I don't see any. So let's just make some. And actually the other thing that let's do is make a bunch. Because if I'm going to be making furnaces, I might as well make the jumbo one. 25 behind me. Okay, what I am doing is I need one of my pickaxes. Not that one. Do I have any others? That's a hoe, which I don't need to carry with me. I do not. Okay. I am going to actually make this thing that I need to make. We're just going to carve it out of here. And hope that nobody comes and bothers us while we're doing this. So if you make 27 furnaces, and let me actually block this up before I end up having unwelcome guests. Let me get that out of the way. And if I counted correctly, ta-da! Oh, it even did a ta-da for me. Jumbo furnace. Okay, so I've got a jumbo furnace. Now, why this is fun, if you've been collecting all the cobble as you've been going along, you can make these furnaces quite easily. This can be a very powerful thing because it is very quick and can do like stacks of processing at one time. And since we don't really have anything yet set up, now's a good time to make use of the cobblestone. The other thing is that in this slot down here, you can put in upgrades. So this goes, it will process more. So what to do for that is you make furnaces. And I have 21. That's... I don't have any more. I think I can do it with cobbled deep slate as well. We'll see. Yes. You can also make furnaces with that. Okay. So if I put this in here, and let me put in some of our... Where did I have it? I thought I had it in there. Or did I already... down here. Okay, so this is the lignite coal. I think I actually said in a previous episode that it was bauxite that's like coal, but it's actually lignite is like coal. So I can do that. Now what it did is it grabbed 27 off the stack, and it's processing them as a bulk unit and produced one of these quote-unquote jumbo furnaces. So if I put the jumbo furnace here, it acts as an upgrade to the jumbo furnace. Bigger on the inside. Doctor Who reference. So that's a nice thing that's going on there. So what I can then do is, let's process this stuff up, and it's okay. Copper is relatively common compared to iron, gold, and it's good to get that smelted out because we're going to use it to upgrade some of our chests and other things to copper versions. Alright, so moving along, let's see if we can now get this. Oh yes, after all of that, there they are. So let's build this. There we go. It's always good to drop it into your inventory to make sure the advancement triggers. And yeah, I'm just going to leave that in there. Okay. What else? Let's see. Cobble deep slate. I don't So these are the things, when you see that little indicator down there in the corner, kind of looks like a little X. If you hover over it, it'll tell you what the options are here. So cobble, blackstone, I haven't found yet, deep slate, sugar infused cobblestone, something in the bumble zone we'll see. Grimstone, cobble, grimstone, whitestone. Okay, so pretty much I think we have used up all of our stuff that we can use up. There. I hesitate to do that because, alright, so what we have is okay, we've got our blast furnace, we've got that, we've got more furnaces. So I need, let's go ahead and grab our reward here, just because it might be useful. More copper. Again, not complaining, but it would not have been my first choice. So I have copper, osmium, iron, another furnace, and some wood. So wood I have stuck here. Yes. And grab some copper. Did I put those? Yeah, I did. There's the osmium. Now the iron I don't have on me. So let's find some raw iron. Take that back temporarily. All right. Okay. Heat generator. Got that. Yeah, it's the iron I'm waiting on. And there's the iron. Alright, there's our heat generator. I'll get the reward from that. This is good because if there's anything I need, and I got glass. Hopefully I will be able to pick that up. And it's actually a fair amount of glass. Okay, and I'm going to need a way to get power. In fact, let's look at our thing here. Is it steel ingot? Okay. And this is infused alloy. Okay. Alright, so well, let's just do this here. Not really got a good spot for it exactly. Oh my goodness, there's coal right here. Yes, please. Who knew? Okay. Is there... Alright. Finally, no more rain. And... let me get that out of there. We're just going to expand this out a little bit. What do I have up here? Alright. Just because we're making it look nice. Let's get... Alright. We'll move that out of the way. Okay, so let's put this here. Fact, knowing what this is going to do, this may not be good to have inside. Okay, slight change of plan. Let's having this anywhere near wood is a bad idea. Puppy in the window. Okay. I'm going to think on this for a moment, and I don't want to hold us up because I have stuff to do, so we're going to do this. And figure it out from there. Okay, so we do have our stuff, I think, for now. Not the best plan, but it's a plan. I'm just going to stick it out here. Because the last thing I want is having a problem where stuff catches fire. Okay. All right. Okay, now, do we have any surface lava anywhere? Probably this. That's a tree. We have over here. Okay, so I'm going to need a bucket, which I don't have, which is iron-based. I am going to need some kind of a tank, ideally. Oh, and I picked up my crafting table, didn't I? Yeah, let's put you here. Alright, that's just being weird. Okay. And I'm going to dump a bunch of junk in here. We'll deal with that later. All right. Let's do bucket. Always good to have buckets. Tank. Let's see what kind of tank we have. Ender tank. Tank dock. Oh, we have a tank. It's only 4 buckets. And it takes block of coal. Yeah, coal and obsidian, who knew? We have these tanks, basic fluid tanks. And iron and redstone. I think I can do that. Yeah. Alright, I forgot the tank recipe. Oh, that's right. Okay. Alright, So I have a way of carrying the lava. I have a bucket to scoop the lava, although I think I can put this into bucket mode. I can, so I could just get it from there. I just like carrying a bucket of lava around. It can be very helpful. That or a bucket of water, or both. Alright, so I think here might be a good place to stop. We're going to go ahead and end it for now. We'll pick up right where we left off. We're going to go get some lava. I'm going to end up with a mining dimension, and we're going to create a portal to the nether. So lots of things that will get us into trouble and get me very close to lava and death. So watch the intro if you want to find out more about that. Episode 0. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you again soon. Cuberized out.